Hey everybody, it's your pal Drew. New comics for my spinner rack. I picked these up for $1.50 each at Dave's Black Friday sale in Fayetteville, Georgia. And they're going to end up on my spinner rack. And you're probably saying, Drew, you've reviewed so many comics on your spinner rack. Well, what's the deal? And the thing is, I rotate. I'll put up different ones. I'll put some back in my collection, just because it's like a little dopamine hit to see cool covers and cool images, new ones. Champions, okay, well, Heroes Graphics, there was actually, let me see what year this is. I gotta stop interrupting myself. 1987, there was a role-playing game called Champions with a great cover by George Perez. It was basically Dungeons & Dragons, but for the modern superheroes, where you could craft your own superheroes, strength, weaknesses, etc. And this comic came out, and unfortunately, Marvel let the Champions name lapse. So these guys used it, and they stuck with it for a while, so they couldn't use Champions for like another decade or two. And which is crazy. But this autumn, one of the Champions will be featured in a solo title from Hero Comics. Which one? Ice Star, Flare, Marksman, Rose. You'll know why in a little bit. This is really great art by Chris Marion. This is like his, to my knowledge, this is some of his early stuff, and he's already fully formed as an artist. Maybe I'd compact those, make less pails, but there's a lot of conversation going on, so maybe it has to be done. There's Flare. I totally dig this. It's tremendous fun. To me, this stuff was just as good as, the regular Marvel titles as far as artwork and style and stuff like that and writing. It wasn't like it was Frank Miller or if it was whatever. It was like a standard Marvel comic or a standard DC comic. Anyway, this Ice Star guy, it's so absurd because it's basically Iceman. He does the ice slide thing. And of course, with an ice character like Blizzard, a villain from Marvel, he had a blue costume. It was like blue and black. And then this guy comes along, Ice Star. And the weird thing is, reading the original Champions, which were created by Tony Isabella with, it had Don Heck and all these other people. And then John Byrne came on board and gave it real solid, consistent look, and he designed a costume for Iceman because Iceman used to just wear boots and shorts, and that drove me nuts because that's so silly. And it was very similar to this without this part here. So being that it was from Champions and it was Ice Star, I guess those are nya. Who knows? And also at this time, I don't think Iceman was being incorporated much. It might have been towards the end of the Defenders, before X Factor, but I might be wrong. So Hot Shots. This is a nice cover. It's color pencil, I would wager, but it's not that exciting. I would maybe choose different colors back here to make them pop. So this is Lars Ulberg. Not the guy from Metallica. 87 also. There were so many great indies that came out. My only complaint really is the coloring. It's sometimes you have to be like in a bright light like this. I have a bright light shining on this. So you see a little hot dog in there. A little hot dog in action. So these two women are partners. But are you going to report me? Of course not. You didn't report me when I burnt that nursing home a couple of months ago. Have you thought about what I asked about sleeping with my husband? Have you? And the only thing is, everybody has these long, pointy faces. What turns out is that there is a sterility enforcement code where you can only have like one or two kids. This is supposed to be 2010 or something like that. Good old mindless violence. So, I know, and she's gotten worse, and now she wants another child. I don't think the eco cops were exempted from mandatory sterilization laws. We're not, but I'm still single. I'm still allowed to have a child. She wants me to sleep with her husband. She wants me to have his child. Whatever. And they start to get on. But don't worry, that's not a female nipple. That is a male nipple. So she comes in, raises hell, chops up a banana. I guess symbolism. Shadow Blade. Kind of like that guy. Who's that character from G.I. Joe? I can't believe I don't remember it right now. It's early Saturday morning. That's not, But like the faces are all elongated and distorted, and in fact, there's some panels I'm not sure who's the male and who's the female because it's just a very, it's odd. Hot Shots number 2. Hang on a second. Chrome with great Kelly Jones covers. I gotta find. They're hard to find now. I don't know why. I used to see them all the time on the stands. But he doesn't do the interiors. He just does the covers. This is on after he had done Micronauts for 20 issues. The Ferret. I don't know why. I'm fascinated. If I see a Malibu comic like this, I always buy it. 50 cents price point. What can go wrong? And it's amazing. Malibu, they published Image Comics. They made an arrangement where the artist got 90% of the money that came in, and it shows you how much they made because Malibu, they not only invigorated, they have their own universe, Malibu Universe, and they also have the Ultraverse, which has all these big-time writers with fairly new artists, and it lasts for a while, but it was kind of thinning the soup, if you know what I mean. R.A. Jones, I know him most from doing reviews on or articles, or both, in Amazing Heroes. And Dean Zachary, I've seen the name, but I don't know who that is. Ken Branch is an inker who graduated to DC Comics. Let's see. And, it's a fairly good start. See, there's the Ultraverse. And it sold pretty well for a while, and then like the second and third year is when things started to suffer. The Ferret is essentially their Wolverine. I always need to have a little piece of hair between the eyes. That's what John Byrne did to She-Hulk, like every panel as a jag. He was just like, he gave her this curly cue. And here comes the gal with the giant haunches and not afraid to show her crotch as much as possible. I mean, that's so 1993. It's, X-Mutants, Dinosaurs for Hire, Protectors. I always wondered why Dinosaurs for Hire never made it big, because such people love dinosaurs. And there is some more big-ass haunches on him. They're bigger than anybody else's. And he's doing his Wolverine thing. I like this. It looks like he's on a swing. Like, look at whee! I don't know what's going on there. I guess he's quadruple jointed. There it is. Dinosaurs for Hire. And for a while, they had Star Trek, so I don't know how Malibu failed. I think they overextended themselves. That's kind of weird to have the same kind of pose in the first panel, but this guy isn't. It's not the only one who's done that. And the sideways spread, which I never liked, but I know that's what the Image Boys did, so a lot of people copied it. But it just bothers me. I don't know why. It's just it's not bad per se. It's just that it's not that there's not much to go with it, I suppose. There we go. There's Black Diamond with covers by Paul Galassi, fellow artist to Pittsburgh member. This came out a couple issues. I originally thought he had done the whole book, but it turns out he just did the covers. Because the interior is by someone else. It's not shown here, but it's nice art. It's really nice art. Secrece de Zuven Jasper Black Production. That's a really interesting stack of names. So just stick Geraci in there because that's such a bizarre name too. Like all these names that people have trouble pronouncing. My name gets mangled all the time, but that's okay. You know, I don't have a fit about it. That's really, really nice. Nice. I just think the art should have had a breakdown of who did what, because you don't know if the second guy was a co-scripter or co-plotter. So, but I mean, the faces are so strong, and the you know, the features, the bodies. That middle panel always puts me in the mind of Jaime Hernandez from Love and Rockets. In fact, her and the redhead sort of do. That's high praise. Oh. So, not bad. This was a real treat. I have to check. I have the DC Comics did an archives edition of all the Thunder Agents books, and it was you know, big old hardcovers with everything Thunder Agents, minus what is it? It wasn't Sea Hunt. It was something else, and then there was also so anyway, not important. Sentinels #1, American Comics. Bill Black's publishing. He did American Comics with. Who's that? He had some female character who's essentially cheesecake that lasted a long time. But this art here, okay, bring it back. Blue Beetle, Captain Atom, Nightshade Question. If you know anything about the early 80s when it comes to stuff, the rights to these Charlton characters were so... They were up in the air. And the guy who ended up winning was John Caberno. And he leased these characters out, or I think he sold them to DC. And here you go, Dan St. John, who I've never heard that name, but it's a fun story. Script and art by Greg Euler. He would go on and do several issues of Nexus right after Steve Rude left around around issue 80 or so. So no, excuse me, issue 60 or so, and he did a good job. I liked it. I mean, just that, you know, if you're going to follow Steve Rude, you know, you're never going to win. You know, backgrounds by Matt Feasel. And Matt Feasel does. He's known for doing these mini comics with a stick figure guy. That he doesn't do for a living. He does it for fun. So this is Vic Sage, and I'm sorry, Vic Sage never ever smiled, ever. Here's the bad guy. It looks like a wrestling mask on him, but it's not. It's some sort of helmet. And he's supposed to be one of the madmen who fought. There was an issue of Blue Beetle where he fought the madmen, which was a whole crew of screwball-looking guys. And there's a lot of this angle going on. That's Ted Cord. That's a nice pose. I love that. And you have the... God, if I had the time, I would go back from the 70s to even the 90s. How many times something would happen, cool, superhero oriented, and a drunk guy on the curb would be like, I'm giving up the stuff. Oh, this is the last drink I'm having. Wow, man, this is some potent stuff. It was like fun like 2 or 3 times. So the art's kind of, there's that 3/4 panel face, and it's okay. You know, the story is clear enough. The colors I don't like though, but it's just kind of, and the posing is really less than dynamic. This other guy, he is called, what is he called? Fiery Icer. I think he has, he's like Equinox. He also shoots fire as well as ice. But I love that, like, toaster head. I like that. That's nice, actually. Really nice. So, Captain Atom. That's a great image here. You're gonna love the end of this. I think this was a character, the Banshee. That was that was also a childhood character, I think, in the Marvel Action Heroes line. So, whack. Back of the head. Nice pose there. Nice group shot. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Strap yourselves in. This is pretty wacky. Oh, so wacky. So, epilogue, he's like, I'll get you back, blah, 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 stupid fool. Destroy the Sentinels of Justice. Okay, here we go. This is what's wild. It made me, like, actually, laugh. I mean, shrug. Both. Who is the shrouded figure who vows to destroy the Sentinels? Alas, we will never know because the Charlton characters have been sold to another publisher. But you will be seeing much more of the talented team of Greg Guler and Dan St. John. They will be doing AC Comics' own version of the Sentinels of Justice. Watch for it. We would like to thank editor George Wildman and Bill Peterson and Charlton Publication for allowing us to publish this story. And special thanks go out to Steve Ditko, who created all these great issues. Wild Bill. Isn't that wild? After first issue, such a funny announcement. Oh yeah, Greg Guler, he also went on to do the ongoing Hawk and Dove series. Originally it was Carl and Barbara Kiesel, who with Rob Liefeld did the original 5-6 issue miniseries of Hawk and Dove, was sold enough that did an ongoing, which Greg Guler did with both the Kessels. So let me know what you think below. This is I've seen this cover in the past, and I've always passed on it, but what the heck? What the heck? It's fun. It's a lot of fun, but screwy. And it's neat to see the early, just the early work of, like, some major comic book artists, Yeah, Okay.